proud of all my kids. Except one, my mom said into the mic at her 60th, pausing long enough for the room to turn and land on me. She laughed. The crowd laughed with her, the way people do when the person holding a microphone makes cruelty sound like a bit. I didn't argue. I picked up the little black remote sitting by the venue's TV, switched the input, and put the receipts on the screen. The room stopped being a room and became a silence. I'm Avery Cole, 30, staff accountant at a mid-sized construction firm in Minneapolis. I live in a one-bedroom with a plant that refuses to die and a calendar that prefers to be color-coded. I grew up in St. Paul, second of three. My older brother, Nate, 32, and my younger sister, Maya, 25. We're a messy family with good CSSEROEs. My mom, Diane, built a small catering business out of a church kitchen and pure willpower. She is funny and loud and loves a crowd. She's also a master of what my therapist calls public narratives, the story you tell with an audience to make your shame feel like someone else's. I used to be the easy one. Straight, a kid, responsible. The one who remembered birthdays and set up the group photos at holidays so mom could post my beautiful babies with 3 heart emojis and a long caption about gratitude and God's favor. Somewhere between my 25th and 28th birthdays, I became difficult. Not because I changed exactly, but because I started saying sentences that didn't fit the script. No, I can't co-sign Nate's car because he missed 2 payments on the last one. No, I won't manage your QuickBooks for free. I'll discount my rate. No, I can't watch grandma every other weekend. Say you can take catering gigs. I work Saturdays during audit season. Maya could do no wrong baby, makeup artist, chaotic good. Nate was the golden retriever who always needed rescuing. I became the problem because I pointed at problems. 3 months before mom's 60th, there was a meltdown over a $6,000 loan to Nate that never came back. I had helped mom put together a simple budget and a plan to pay off the credit card she'd used to cover that loan. Then I found a $1,200 Venmo to Maya labeled dress kit hotel need you to shine, and a $750 Zella to autopay Nate. The same day she called me crying about late fees, I wrote an email exact, with a subject line my work brain couldn't help. Budget plan plus please no more spot transfers. I suggested boundaries, no more mom to the rescue payments. Give me the catering invoices and I'd enter them weekly. We'd set aside $500 a month for grandma's care and get Aunt Carla on a rotation. Mom replied with a voice memo that started with "I'm not your client" and ended with "you're cold." 2 nights later, family dinner devolved into a performance. Mom said, "My accountant daughter wants me to starve my other kids," and Nate added, "It's just money, Av." Maya said, "You always make me feel like trash," and I thought, I didn't. The math did. I went home and did what I do when my insides shake. I organized. I dumped texts, Venmo screenshots, Zelle memos, old emails, and a list of dates into a folder called Family Ledger. I made a simple timeline, January 2021, September 2024, with bullets of who asked for what and how much. I added one more column, what I did for each person without asking for payment. It wasn't for anyone but me, a way to look at the story without mom's mic. Mom's 60th was in a rented event space near Como Park, white draped backdrop, gold chairs, and a TV on a rolling stand by the dance floor looped to a slideshow of photos I had edited because of course I edited them. I still show up for the work. I arrived early to help set candles. Mom's theme was 60 and sparkling. There were confetti balloons and a signature cocktail called Diane's Delight, but I suspected was mostly sugar. I placed the USB drive with the slideshow behind the TV remote because venues make things disappear. The plan was speeches after dinner. The program read, welcome, Pastor Jen Toasts, Kids Toast, Diane Cake, all we made it to toast. Kids with only 2 microaggressions and 1 passive-aggressive hug. Nate went first. To the woman who did it all, he said, almost sincere. Maya went second. You made me feel beautiful when I didn't. I went third. You fed us, you hustled, you found a way, I said. It was true. I didn't add that. She also found an audience when she needed 1 dot, then Mom took the mic. Proud of all my kids, she said, and turned to me with a smile that knew a crowd, except one. Laughter, then else, then that shared look people do when they think they're part of something delicious. My chest went cold, not from shame, but from the clarity that comes when you see the same joke in 4K dot. I made eye contact with Aunt Carla across the room. She shook her head slow, like a metronome for bad ideas. My therapist's question floated up. What would it look like to stop letting someone write your story in public? I walked to the TV, picked up the remote, and changed the input. The title slide appeared with a plain white background and black text. Family Ledger, 2021-2024. Receipts. The room went quiet in a way you can't buy with lighting. I didn't plan to blow up a party. I planned to protect myself. But when someone uses a mic to edit you out of your own family, you get to use the TV to put yourself back in. Slide 1. Dates. January 2021. $3,500 loan to Nate. Zello memos. Car again. Last one FR not repaid. March 2021. $800 kit for Maya's makeup business gift. May 2021. 46 hours of grandma care I covered. Unpaid. 2021. $1,200 fines for Nate paid by Mom's card. Interest at 22%. Slide 2. Spot transfers. Screenshots of transfers from Mom to Nate and Maya with memos like rent due, light bill, Uber Home stopped working, soft launch promo. Red arrows pointing to dates one day before Mom called me asking for help with her business. Credit card minimums. Slide 3. Unpaid work. Me entering Mom's catering invoices 12 Saturdays in a row. Texts from Mom. Love you. Owe you one. Maya's testimonial. Avery saved my tax season. Nate's, can you look at this letter from collections? Slide 4. Cold. Vias. Boundaries. My email recommending no more spot transfers. Mom's voice memo. You're cold. My reply. I love you. I won't be your bank. Please stop asking. Slide 5. The $6,000 loan. Proof. My bank statement showing the transfer to Mom's card. Mom's text promising we'll pay it back in 6 months. A calendar with the word nope on each month after. Slide 6. What I pay without asking. Christmas groceries. 2022. $327.43. Grandma's new walker. $189. Cater van brake pads. $412.18. Maya's emergency dentist copay. $230. Mom's QuickBooks subscription for 9 months when her card declined $31.50 month. Green checks next to each. Slide 7. What I won't pay. Nate's new car down payment? No. Maya's Mexico girls trip? No. Mom's invest in your sister's dream text when dream meant cover photographer at a pop-up bar? No. My voice stayed calm, measured like a ledger. I'm proud of my siblings, I said. I'm proud of you, Mom. I'm also proud of myself for paying my loans, my rent, my own health insurance, and Grandma's copay last. Spring. I'm not the exception to your pride. I'm your daughter who learned math. Nate stood, angry red. What are you doing? Showing my work, I said. Since Mom wanted to grade my character on a curve in front of her friends. Aunt Carla, God bless her, stood too. Diane, she said to my mom, this is what you've been doing for years. Avery's just holding up the paper. Mom's smile curdled. Turn that off, she said quietly. 2 more slides, I said. Then I'm done. Slide 8. 2 rules going forward. No more public shaming jokes as bits. Call them what they are. Cuts, money requests go through the person asking, not through mom's tears. Slide 9. What I want. Boundaries. I will not co-sign, front, or spot anyone again. Transparency. Mom, stop paying Nate and Maya's bills while asking me to fix your interest payments. Fairness. If I do work for the catering business, you pay me discounted family. Rate, $25 hour. If not, hire someone. I clicked the screen black. Happy birthday, I said soft. You built this family? Build a better script. Silence swallowed the room. The DJ froze by instinct. The venue coordinator, a woman used to centerpieces, not confrontations, glanced at the door like she could let oxygen in. Nate recovered first. You had to do this tonight? He gestured at the tables, the balloons, the cake shaped like a champagne bottle. You couldn't keep your little spreadsheet to yourself? If you hadn't used the mic to announce that I was the one kid you weren't proud of, I said, my spreadsheet would still be on my laptop. My sister's eyes were shiny. I didn't know Mom was using the card we can't afford to pay, she said, voice small. I thought she loves helping. She does, I said. But she also calls me crying when the bill comes due. Mom loved the best ball she had. I kept you alive, she said, the nuclear sentence. You kept all of us alive. Said, now keep yourself honest. A decent man in a bad moment, my father, who left when I was 7 and shows up now like a thunderstorm in July, stood near the bar and said, Diane, apologize. She looked at him like a magician in the wrong crowd. Then she looked at me, her face soft a fraction. I was making a joke, she said, and the line sounded like a key that opens a lock in the floor. You made a cut, I said. Jokes. Don't bleep people. She set the mic down. Cake, she called too loud. Cake time. We sang happy birthday like people in a room where the rules had changed, but the cake had not. After I helped the venue staff slice because they didn't deserve our drama thinly spread over their wages, Maya came to stand beside me and whispered, I'm sorry, and I squeezed her arm. An hour later, people had drifted. Nate and I ended up in the parking lot under a light that made us both look like different versions of a truth. You really couldn't wait? He said. Softer now. She used a mic to embarrass me, I said. I used a TV to tell the truth. I didn't slam you. I didn't call you names. I showed numbers. He exhaled. You always make me feel like a failure. I don't, I said. That does. Do better. He nodded once, the out version of contrition, and got in his car. I watched his taillights disappear and felt sadness and relief. Jostle for seats in my chest. Mom texted that night. That hurt, I replied. It hurt to be cut out of your pride. She didn't respond. Aunt Carla did. Proud of you. With 2 heart emojis and a picture of a glass of wine that looked earned. The following week, I didn't wait for them to figure it out. I wrote it down. Subject, after Saturday, boundaries and next steps, Mom. I won't do unpaid bookkeeping. If you want me, it's $25 hour billed monthly. Otherwise, I'll send you 3 bookkeepers in your budget. Please stop spot paying me and Maya's bills. If you do, don't ask me to fix the interest when your card is due. No money talk at events. If someone humiliates me with a joke, I will leave. Care for Grandma. I can cover 1 Sunday a month. Please make a rotation. Aunt Carla offered to ask Maya and Nate for theirs. If you want to apologize, I'm here. If not, I'm taking some space. Avery, I BC'd myself and filed it in receipts. I sent separate emails to Nate and Maya. To Nate, I won't spot you. If you need a budget template, I'll send one. No pressure. To Maya, If you want help pricing your kits so you're not chasing cash, I'll help $0 charge, but only if you want. Maya replied in 10 minutes, yes, please. Nate replied with a thumbs up, and later that night, an earnest, can you look at this letter from collections? I said, book a 30-minute slot on Saturday. We'll read it together. I won't call. Boundaries can be warm and still be boundaries. On Thursday, Mom sent an apology text that was almost a sentence. I shouldn't have said that into a mic. It wasn't, I'm sorry, but it was, I shouldn't, which in our family's grammar equals progress. She also Venmo'd me $250 with the note for Saturday. I returned it. I'm not charging you for cake slicing, I wrote. The bookkeeping rate is for bookkeeping. A month later, Mom hired a part-time bookkeeper who charges $30 HR and is, according to Mom, mean in a way I respect. Her words. She stopped spotting for a month, then slipped with a $120 Nate's phone transfer. She didn't ask me to fix it. 2 months later, we had a family meeting about grandma care. It was awkward as church. We picked Sundays on a calendar while Grandma watched Jeopardy. At a volume that made God turn his head, Nate took the first, Maya the second, I the third. Aunt Carla took the first and third Tuesdays when Mom has late orders. Mom looked tired but relieved, like someone had set down a box they pretended wasn't heavy dot at Thanksgiving. Mom let me plate my own food without narrating it. She said, I love you, and then added, I shouldn't have said that at my party. Looking me in the eyes in a way that counted, I said, I love you too, because the truth is not a weapon. It's a map that the slideshow remote sits on my desk now, a little black piece of plastic that looks like nothing and feels like a boundary. I know what people think when they hear I put receipts on a TV at a birthday. Dramatic, petty, too far, maybe. I also know how it felt the second that slide went up, and the room used to laughing at me had to look at the numbers. That silence was not spite. It was space I still held, but on purpose. I built Maya a pricing sheet for her kits so she stops breaking even and starts paying rent. I sat with Nate while he called a creditor and set up a payment plan. I made Mom a little checklist for catering gigs, invoicing, deposits, expenses, and no transfers to children this week. And I wrote a new rule in my own private manual. If a person with a mic tells the room who you are, you don't have to accept the role. You can turn on the TV and tell the truth. You can leave too. I stayed and sliced cake because the staff deserved a normal night. Next time I might say, I'm not doing this here, and leave. Both choices count as self-respect. Mom still loves a crowd. She still says cute, mean things that she thinks are harmless. But the night she almost made me a villain and instead got a ledger change something in the room we eat in. We talk less about who's difficult and more about who's doing what, when, and why. We say I can't without a thesis. We're learning no can be a way to stay. When I think about her toast now, I hear the line, proud of all my kids. Except one, and I want to add a comma and a clause she never gave herself permission to say. And I'm sorry for the way I said it. Maybe she'll add it one day, maybe not. Either way, I know what's in my ledger. I know what I'm worth without a microphone. If someone uses a toast to cut you out, don't show the work. Put the receipts where the narrative lives. Set rules. Put them in writing. The cleanest revenge isn't a clapback. It's a boundary that turns a room quiet and keeps your peace loud after.